as we get started, more people will be coming in. So let's see what I thought we would do today. Last week we spoke a lot about marketing, and during the week I got quite a few questions on a lot of different areas. So what I thought we would do today is actually answer some of the questions that I had on actually through the emails throughout the week. And we're going to go over some different topics, and then I'd like to end off by answering questions that you folks might have. And after that, which if you saw my email that I sent out about 2 hours ago, we're going to have a drawing. Actually, better than a drawing, we're going to have a contest, a live contest here, where I'm going to be giving away something that all of you that have to do with hypnosis, anything to do with hypnosis, are going to love. It's a $150 value, and I'll be sending that to whoever the winner is. But I'm not going to give it away right now. This is going to happen at the end of the program. So let's see, what are some of the questions? A lot of the questions are coming in about the misconceptions and the, I guess you could say, the fallacies or even games that are being played about hypnosis certifications in schools. So I thought I would start with that. Before I start, I do have my air conditioning going because it's kind of warm. Is that distracting? Are you all able to hear me pretty well? Want to make sure I don't need to turn that off? Just fine, good, thanks. I don't want to turn it off. It's pretty hot up here. Okay, one of the first things people were talking about, where it comes to hypnosis schools, okay, there's a confusion between schools and certifying bodies. I've been having a lot of people saying, what is a certification? Okay, well let me explain the difference between a school and a certifying body. The school is who teaches you, okay? If you're going to go to a 6-day class or a 3-day class, like with us, it's the American School of Hypnosis. We're the one that teaches you. Once you graduate, once the class is over, you're finished with the school. So that hat comes off, and the hat of the association comes on. So the association is who deals with you after you graduate. Now, associations, there's tons of them, as you can see. I mean, it's like McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, they're all different kinds. It's basically, what do you like? When you're looking at an association, think to yourself, what can they do for me, okay? First of all, there is no federal regulation for hypnosis yet. We'd like to see something like that in the future, but how do you regulate imagination or suggestibility? So I think they're having a hard time being able to regulate that. So there is no unifying body for hypnosis. A lot of mental health agencies, they have their own unifying bodies and associations. So with hypnosis, the only thing we can do is have associations, but there's many of them. So the whole idea of an association is the association certifies that you have had a training according to their standards, so whatever training they put out. So they're a third-party association or a third-party body giving credential to the person that took the training. And usually took the training through the school where their training is certified through them. Other than that, there's really no way for anybody to say, yeah, this guy has credentials, this guy knows what he's talking about. Because unfortunately, since there is no regulation with hypnosis, you can go to a library, pick up a good book on hypnosis, and go out and put up a shingle and start practicing. So it's something that's there to help the client so they can, if they see a certificate, oh, he was trained through a larger body. Now, what else does the association do? They're there to help you from when you graduate to being successful. So what can they do for you? Do they give you any information on marketing, any information on starting a business? Some of the things that we like to do with our graduates is give them script manuals, marketing manuals. We have a manual for building a web page. We have an open line for phone calls or emails while they're with the association to help answer questions. So we're there to help them. But remember, they work for you rather than you working for them, okay? So there is no association that is more important than another one. It's just some of them do different things. Some of them have legal services. Some of them offer insurance. So when you're looking at one, think of that. What can they do for me? I hope that helps understand to explain certifications. Like I said, they're not required. They're a helpmate. Whether you're certified or not, it really doesn't matter. I have a lot of people saying, is your certification authorized in this country or accepted in this location? there's really no authorizing a certain, or if you can do hypnosis, the certifying body can pretty much be there. We have members of our association in pretty much every single country there is. I don't know how many countries there are, but I mean, I'm getting people coming in from Tasmania, from countries all over the world, some of them I'd never even heard of before, so it's pretty interesting. Okay, let's go a little beyond that. College degrees, here's a fun one. You've probably, if you've done research online, you've seen colleges of hypnosis. You see a lot of them overseas especially. In the UK, I know there's a few of them that say they're colleges and you can get a degree in hypnosis. What's that all about? Well, first of all, this is the gospel according to Rainey, okay? In my opinion, there is no such thing as a true hypnosis college. I mean, some of them can call it, you can call yourself an academy, a school, whatever, and that's fine. But any degrees that they would hold is just the degree or the, what can I say, there's no degree that would swap credits, let's say, with a college, with Harvard or Yale, you know. There's no 2-year degree or 4-year degree. There's not enough information with hypnosis to do that. So a lot of these that say that they're a college, basically what they're doing is they're associating themselves with a post-secondary school or something along that lines. I know in certain states there's a lot more leeway of what you can do, what's accepted. So if you can affiliate the school with a post-secondary school, then they call themselves, they might call themselves a college, or say we're accepted by the state or the educational board. What's a post-secondary school? A lot of people know of it as night school, as a school where you can go in there to learn basket weaving, computer graphics. As a matter of fact, I've taught at post-secondary schools. I've taught past life regression courses, contacting spirits, what we call contacting beyond courses. I've done quit smoking. I've even done hypnosis schools over there because they do a lot of advertising for you. So basically, this is a business. One school is good as another, but a lot of schools to try to get the edge will say they're affiliated with this college or this church or this, that. But just keep in mind, look at the curriculum of the school. Do you like the curriculum? Are they teaching what you want to learn? That's what matters. Whether they're affiliated with the state or with the college or with the high school or with the post-secondary, it doesn't matter because it doesn't make the school any better or worse. It's just, but you know, like in business, kind of a game they play to try to get more credibility. Okay, with that said, what is a certification? Hours. Here's a fun one. Remember, we're a business, so being a business as a school, you're trying to find a lot of ways to attract people to your school. So, of course, the college thing is a nice thing. I'm certified with this body or that body. But another one is the hours. Our school requires you to have 100 hours, 50 hours, 300 hours. Some of them will go to school for an entire year, maybe one night during the week, 2 nights during the week, and a weekend, a few hours here and there. Hours doesn't matter. Basically, there's just so much doctrine you can be taught, so much book work you can be taught with hypnosis, okay? So we have a 3-day course for our individual students and a 6-day course for groups. You're not spending the whole 3-day or 6-day doing curriculum. A lot of that is practice time. So when you get 300 hours, you might get 30 hours or so of, let's say, study time or less, or I could say book work, but most of it is going to be hands-on practice, okay? So they might have clients coming in that you can work on. You might be hypnotizing each other. Who knows how it's going to work, but it's basically hands-on practice. So once you've practiced and done a few of them, okay, you can either stay with a school that requires more hours and let them, you know, get the credit from your practice, because a lot of them will actually charge clients to come in, or go home, stop working, work with your clients, and get paid to practice. Once you leave a class, if it's a good school, you should know what you're doing. It's the job of the teacher to make sure you know what you're doing when you leave. So once you leave, you know what you're doing, work on clients, work with them, get paid for what you're doing. One of the reasons we only deal with 3- and 6-day classes is because quite a few of the people that come see us are doctors and mental health workers and business people that don't have a lot of time to spend away from the office. They can't spend, 2-3 weeks away, so they come over for a 6-day class and they can go back and work with their clients. Yeah, some associations require, I'm just reading here, some associations require so many hours to become a member. Again, it's as a way of separating themselves. If you have 100 hours, you can become a member with us. Just like they have some associations that only deal with medical. They have some that only deal with dental people. They have some, but it's the same kind of, it's the same thing. You're learning, there's so many things in school. They have some that only deal with nurses, okay? Basically, they can deal with everybody, but by saying we only deal with nurses, they're being more of a niche, more pinpointed, so they might get a lot more nurses than what they would. Let's see, what type of client should stay away from? That's not a whole question. Stay away from an association? Should you stay away from? Well, we'll look at that in a little while when they rewrite it. Okay. So the hours game, keep that in mind. If there's more hours for a class, a lot of times you're paying for them. They offer you, they say it's a 300-hour class. How much are you paying for that? Are you paying them a lot of extra money to practice? Another thing to keep in mind, okay, with less hours, again, we're being a business, the school being a business has to have more clients coming in. Look at it this way. However, if I could keep a student longer by charging them maybe double the tuition and have them stay there a lot longer doing practices and sessions and all that, that's a lot better for me because I have to do less marketing, okay? So I don't know if I should call myself the Walmart of hypnosis, but we like to deal with it so we teach people to know what they're doing and get them out there working rather than keeping them here and practicing and practicing and practicing. So I hope that helps with the hour thing. Now, one of the things we do for those of you that have, I know a lot of you are graduates of our course, but people that really want to have the hours and want to have more hours, one of the benefits we have through the association is once you've graduated from our 3-day or 6-day course, you can retake the 6-day course at any one of our locations worldwide as many times as you like for free. We just ask you to bring your manual. So, of course, you can get 300, 3,000 hours if you want to keep on going. But, there's going to come a time where you need to start working. You can go to school forever, but what are you doing with it? Get out there and work. Okay. Now, let's see. What's the next one here? Here's one of my pet peeves, okay? People call up or they write in saying, does your school certify me to be a hypnotherapist or a hypnotist or an advanced hypnotist? The way those titles work, okay, there is no federal regulation, but from state to state, there are different regulations depending on where you're going, okay? Most of them, they're all the same idea. They want you to work within your realm of practice, okay? So when you go to a school, basically you're learning, like with us, we teach an advanced hypnotherapy course. Now, can you call yourself a hypnotherapist when you graduate? That has nothing to do with the school. That has to do with your personal educational background. A lot of schools don't want you to know that because they're going to say, oh, you come here and be a hypnotherapist, but you might not be when you graduate. In a lot of states, such as Florida, Texas, Indiana, so there's quite a few, we've got a list, and I suggest that you call your state before you practice to find out what their ruling is. In a lot of states, the way it works is if you do not have a medical or a mental health degree, you cannot call yourself a hypnotherapist. You cannot do clinical hypnosis, meaning working with healing, with pain management, with psychological disorders. And what they're trying to do is get you to work within your realm of practice. And I agree with them. If you don't have a mental health degree, you shouldn't be dealing with somebody that has PTSD or some other kind of mental issue, okay? So, for them, even when I get them, I refer them to hypnotherapists who are also psychiatrists or psychologists or whatever they might be, okay? So it's important, even if you're in one of those states that doesn't have any rules, that you still work within your realm of practice. So, in the majority of states still don't have rules, so again, you can call yourself a hypnotherapist, but it's kind of a misnomer. You're not really a therapist unless you know it. We call our graduates instead of hypnotherapists, we call them hypnosis practitioners, because that's what they do. They practice hypnosis, and there's been no states that have really balked with that yet. Matter of fact, I know we were speaking to somebody from New Jersey. New Jersey just recently put a new title on the book called hypnocounselor, to give people a choice other than hypnotherapist. Because people really don't want to call themselves a hypnotist because they don't want to be confused with a comedy hypnotist. So hypnosis practitioner works great. So when you go to school, in our school we teach an advanced hypnotherapy course, and the reason for that is in a group class you might have somebody right out of high school, but we might have doctors and psychiatrists and nurses too. So this way everyone learns the advanced hypnotherapy, but depending on the state you're going to, because most of our people are from out of state, check with the rules of your state and work within your realm. It's funny because in New Jersey you can't be a hypnotherapist, but you cross the border into Pennsylvania and you are. So there's a lot of difference. Same thing with Florida, and you cross the border up into South Carolina or Georgia. Anyways, you cross the border, it's a whole different ball of wax. So check with your state, that's the best thing I can say, and see what they say, what the laws are there. Titles, there's another fun thing. CHT, CH, Master Hypnotist. Again, there's not any regulation on that, unfortunately, as well. Our people call themselves hypnosis practitioners, but I've seen some places where you look at someone's name and you have their name, John Adams, which is a name about this long, with initials at the end of his name about this long, okay? There's quite a few what I call made-up terms, but the standard ones are hypnotist, hypnotherapist, like in New Jersey, hypnocounselor, hypnosis practitioner. Master hypnotist is the one that's been coming up a lot. I don't really know what a master hypnotist is. I know when you look at a family, there's Mr., Mrs., and a kid they call master. So to me, master is somebody that just begins. That's not a title that I think is a legit title, but it's used a lot. So I guess if it's used a lot, it can be legit. Let's see, California. What title can we call ourselves? I don't have the ruling up front of me, but it'd be good to call them and check. California, I know they do have a lot of different rules in California, such as one of them is that you have to have all your clients sign a waiver before you can hypnotize them, and you need to keep it for 2 years, letting them know that you are not a medical or mental health professional and that you're a hypnotist or a hypnotherapist, depending. But the safe rule of thought is if you have a medical or mental health degree, you can use it. If not, don't even bother with it. Hypnosis practitioner is fine. Keep in mind that today probably 75% or more of your clients are going to be for smoking cessation anyways. So there's enough business out there between smoking cessation, weight loss, study habits, test taking, golf, sports type things, then you don't have to deal with the medical issues. What I found in my practice is if I refer these people that I can't do to someone who can do it, continue doing that, eventually they're going to send people back to you. Just the way it works. Okay, let's see. What else do we have here? We spoke about that. Approvals. Wow, I went right through those. Those are most, I guess you could say, the fallacies in the games that are being played. Now I want to change the subject and get into something totally different. Some of the questions that I had coming in during the week were about stress. So there's so many people talking about stress, and as you know, stress is a major issue with anything, from psoriasis to heart attack and stroke. You find stress pretty much putting its ugly fingers in there everywhere. So from listening to all these questions and comments about stress, I wanted to speak to you guys about an idea that I use and that we teach our people. But this is something I had put a newsletter out about this about a year ago, but I'd like to go ahead and talk about it again. What I'm going to tell you about is a good way in your office to alleviate stress, and this will also do a lot of other things that will be helpful to you as a practitioner. So here's what you do. Go someplace, a tourist trap someplace, okay, a tourist store type thing, and pick up about 5 or 6 postcards. So any place where they have nice postcards. Pick up postcards with 5 or 6 different scenes that are enjoyable scenes. One might be a nice ocean scene with waves coming in, palm trees. Another one might be a winter scene where you have a cottage, with maybe a nice fireplace, or smoke coming out. So like a nice cozy cottage in the winter. Maybe a picture of a valley somewhere, between the mountains with eagles soaring. So different kind of scenes, different settings. Take these postcards, put them on the coffee table or someplace in your office where your client sees them. So what you do is, when the client comes in, have them look at the postcard and say, I want you to pick one of those postcards that you like the best. So they'll look through them for a while and know whichever one that they grab, okay, have them take the postcard with them and go sit down wherever you're going to do your session. Now this postcard is going to help you with a couple things. First of all, you're going to use it to alleviate stress, which I'm going to get to in just a minute. But another thing you're going to use it for, as you know, we have 5 different senses, okay? But not everyone's primary sense is the same. Raluca, for instance, she is visual. So when you ask her things, she'll be saying, to describe a postcard, this is green, this is black, this is white. Other people, like myself, I'm kinesthetic. I'm more of the feeling type. So when I look at the postcard, I might say it's a warm scene, it's a comfortable scene. So as they're describing the picture to you, listen to how they're speaking. What's their primary sense? Is it auditory, kinesthetic, visual? Take note of that, so throughout the session, as you're talking to them, you can kind of mirror that and speak to them in terms that they'll understand. If someone's kinesthetic, a lot of visual terms aren't going to resonate with them as well as other kinesthetic type terms. So there's one thing you can do. Now another thing that you can do with this postcard, as you know, part of the session, matter of fact, for relaxing people, for non-analytical people, their favorite part of the session is the relaxation part. So they're coming because they want to kind of like it's almost like going to a massage for them. So they're there for the relaxing, for the feel the flowers. So what you're doing is you can use this postcard as your deepener. So if they pick the one with the valley, you can tell them, imagine yourself on the side of, on the mountainside, and you're watching the eagle soaring down, and as he descends down to the ground, you go deeper and deeper into relaxation. So you can actually turn that into a deepener because you know it's something that they like. And now let's go back to the stress part. Here's what you do with it. In order to deal with stress, it's important to understand where stress lives, okay? Stress only exists in the future and in the past. It does not exist in the now, okay? If you're familiar with brainwave states, basically the now, okay, is, when you're in the beta state, you're living pretty much in the future and the past, but when you get into theta, when you get into the higher brainwave states, or what I should say, the right brain brainwave states, you're just right brain activity, which is now. So when you're into the now, there is no stress. You're stressed about what's going to happen. You're stressed about what did happen. But right now, this is the best that life has to give you at this moment. You sitting there listening to me talking, me looking at myself on this screen in this video, is the best that life has to get right now. So that is the now. There's no stress in that. You might be stressed, what time's this guy going to get done because I want to have dinner? But that's later. That's not now. So knowing that, here's what you're going to do. Have them take the postcard. Matter of fact, I did it today in class. You take the postcard, and let's see. Ooh, here's a nice brochure. It's kind of like a postcard. I picked up this whale watching brochure because I want to go on a whale watching tour sometime soon. So you pick up the postcard and you tell the client, I want you to describe this picture to me as if you're speaking to me over the telephone. I'm on the other end of the telephone, and I have an easel and paint, and I'm going to create this picture the same way that you see it. So you need to be really explicit. You need to tell me, like, okay, there's a picture of the ocean, and there's a huge whale, just the tail part going into the water, and the coloring and the way the tail is moving. You need to get really explicit. As the client is describing this, and he really starts getting into it, watch his face. You're going to see all the stress marks on his forehead. Just let go. He's going to calm down, because when he gets into it, basically he's into the now. Everything that stressed him on the way into the office, getting cut off by the cars and all that, all just fades away, because he's doing such a good job on focusing on this, so you can create it over the telephone, that he forgot all that. So you can see this is a great way to calm them down. It's a great way to find out what tense to use with them, whether, which one of the five senses, and it also works as a deepener. So go ahead and try that. I think you'll really like it. Okay, let's see what we got here. I'm curious if you can hypnotize a person as they sleep, or use hypnotic suggestion as they sleep. Okay, we're going to be getting into questions shortly, but let me go ahead and answer that one. There's actually a couple things you can do. Can you hypnotize a person as they sleep? One of the things we teach in our course is called sleep hypnosis. Okay, this is something excellent to do with young children. Sleep hypnosis, matter of fact, I've been doing it since my youngest daughter. I have 6 children. As they were growing up, I probably started when they were about 4 or 5 years old. Sleep hypnosis is great when they're young enough to understand the language, up until about maybe 10, 12, 13. When you get into the teenage years, it's a little tougher. There's nothing worse than being over your child in the middle of the night, teenager, they open their eyes and they go, "Dad, what are you doing? Get out of here," Teenagers are distrusting, okay? But here's how it goes, okay? So let's say your daughter's name is Sally. Once Sally's gone to sleep, let her know that you might do this during the night so you're not going to scare her. Once Sally's gone to sleep, what you do is you walk into the room quietly, and as she's sleeping, her hand might be like this. You just tap her on the finger and say, "Sally, if you can hear me, move this finger. Sally, if you can hear me, move this finger." Just keep on doing that until she actually moves her finger. Once she moves her finger, you're in, okay? What do I mean by you're in? She's in the hypnotic state. If you look at sleep being way over here and totally awake being right over here, look, I'm like right in the middle, okay? The middle mark where awakeness and sleep meet is called the hypnagogic state. That's the line. We also call it, in our training, we call it the alpha theta bridge. That's the point where you normally fall asleep. So when you're hypnotizing a client, it might take you 20 minutes to get them to that state, to get them into just the right state for hypnosis. However, when someone's sleeping and you tap them on the finger and Sally moves a finger, she can get there in about 3 seconds, okay? So she's in that nice state. Now that you have her in that hypnotic state, you give her suggestions. Remember, this is not used for punishment. It's just used for helping the child. So they should only be positive suggestions. Always use positive reinforcement. "Sally, you're a wonderful girl. Daddy loves you. I'm very happy with you." And then start in. Only positive stuff. Tomorrow at school, you have confidence. Let's say it's the first day at school and you want to give her confidence or make her feel better. You have confidence. You're going to be yourself. All the kids are going to like you. You're doing so well in school. When you take your test, you remember your answers. They're all right there as soon as you read the question. These kind of things. And then close it off with, "Good night. Have a nice night's sleep," and just walk out. The whole thing in and out should probably be less than a minute, okay? You shouldn't have to do that too much because you're only doing this for simple things, maybe test taking, study habits. I did it once because the teacher said my daughter wasn't helping after school cleaning the board and all that. She wanted to run right home right away. So I told her, "Tomorrow you're going to stay at school and you're helping the teacher and you love doing it." And the teacher was shocked at how fast her behavior changed. So that's one way you can do that, sleep hypnosis. Another way, matter of fact, I do this for myself, is make yourself a CD or an MP3 or something that you can listen to at night. What I do is I give myself like a countdown where it'll help me, count from, let's say 20 down to 1, take a deep breath between each number. And this countdown helps me to relax and get to sleep. So if you have insomnia, it'll help you to get to sleep. And once it hits 0, you just start giving yourself suggestions. And this thing can be for an hour long, which mine is. And just give yourself positive suggestions, almost like affirmations. "I am happy. I am terrific. I feel great. I have the best of health." And at night, go to bed, listen to that. You can make suggestions for whatever you need. We have one in our programs for health, wealth, relationships, and happiness. So you can make it for anything. So that's 2 ways you can do hypnosis for while sleeping. Let's see what else we got. Is there a certain training words to use and knowing that they're hypnotized. I'm not really sure what you mean. So let's see. Let's go on. Yeah, I know the ads are annoying. And we are recording this. Matter of fact, we'll probably be having it in the next few days on YouTube. If you subscribe to our YouTube site, you'll automatically receive notice that this whole thing is on YouTube. Also, if you come back here after it's over, Ustream should be recording this automatically. You'll get one commercial at the beginning, but you should be able to watch all the rest of it. Just like the one you see that's up there now is last week's class. Let's see. See, I don't have insomnia. I just count from 100 and say deep sleep. Yeah? Let's see. What else do we have? Oh, you think the person's asking, oh, how do you tell if a person is in hypnosis? Okay. Well, again, if you're a hypnotherapist, that's something you should have covered in class. We don't want to get too much in there because I don't want to have all these non-hypnotherapists going out hypnotizing people with this weapon, you know. But there's certain signs to tell when just by looking at somebody if they're in hypnosis. Basically, here's one of the things I found with hypnosis. Deeper is not necessarily better. I mean, people say you got to get them deep. Deep hypnosis, the deeper levels are great for healing, anesthesia, traumatic memories. Other than that, most everything can be done in the lighter states of hypnosis, what we call the alpha brainwave state. Now, just so you know, I don't know if you realize, simply closing your eyes blocks out 80% of beta activity. Right now, I'm in beta because I'm teaching you. Most of you are in beta because you're listening. That's your busy, study, active time. But just closing your eyes blocks out 80% of beta activity, which puts you 80% in the alpha brainwave state. Taking 3 deep breaths will bring you a lot closer there, okay? So, if you notice before, just about every kind of session, that's what we do, is we take 3 deep breaths and close your eyes, take 3 deep breaths, which brings you into the alpha state. Yeah, we still use deepeners and all this because that's what clients expect. But if you just have them close their eyes and take 3 deep breaths, you can start giving suggestions. You're going to hear all these terms about in hypnosis and trance and let all that stuff go off. That's just the scary things people try to put out. The definition of hypnosis is being open to suggestion. That's it. If your client is open to suggestion, he is in the hypnotizable state. So, are you open to suggestion? Right now, if you folks are listening to me and you're accepting what I'm saying, you're open to suggestion. That means you're in hypnosis. From when you get up to when you go to bed, the majority of your day, you are in the suggestive state, or state of suggestibility. Think of it. When you go to the grocery store and you want to buy 10 items and you walk out with 15 items, what happened? You were open to suggestion and you bought more items. You're in hypnosis. When you're driving down the street and you see Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, McDonald's, and you pull into Dunkin' Donuts, those signs, that's all suggestion. You're being bombarded with suggestion all the time. On the television, right now I'm looking at the screen and I see Ustream, the logo. I see logos for other things that I have on my screen. Looking around the room, there's a water bottle, great value. That's not a really good logo, but I mean, there's Scotch tape. There's all these different things. That's all suggestion. All these logos are trying to get things across to me. So pretty much all day long, you're open to suggestion. And guess what? If you don't agree with me right now and you're going, nope, 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 you're still open to suggestion. You're open to a counter suggestion from yourself. So you're receiving suggestion all day long. How you react to it is what's going to happen. So don't worry about how deep they are. If they close their eyes, they're relaxed, and if they're accepting it, they're in hypnosis. And guess what? If they come into your office and they pay you $150 for a session, they're not going to resist you. Because the only way you can resist suggestion is if you have your hands over your ears and you're going, la, 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 and I'm not going to do that if I paid you $150 for a session, okay? The only time you usually get resistance is if you do something for free, not if you're doing a paying session. Okay, is your training recognized in Canada? Oh yeah, we even have an instructor in Canada. We have quite a few. We're recognized pretty much everywhere. Unfortunately, I'm not recognized because I always go in costume when I'm out. Bad joke, but hey. Okay, let's see. What else do we have here? Any other questions I missed while I was talking about that one? Do we have instructors in the South? Do we have instructors in the South? Okay. How far south do you want to go? We have them in Trinidad and Tobago. How's that? That's south enough? And we also have, actually, if you go on our website and put down find an instructor near you, it has a listing of them, and also on our main website it has a listing. We have them in Pennsylvania and Delaware, in Texas, all over the place we have offices. Let me see. Two south. Okay. Yeah, and we have them in many other countries as well. Do you have instructors in Idaho? Is this one of my members in Idaho that's considering being one? No, in Idaho, actually, not being on the listing, I don't want to slight anybody, but I think the closest one we have to there is probably in California. Okay, what's required to become an instructor? That would take me a long time, but if, again, go on the site and right at the top of my site, choosehypnosis.com, it says become a hypnosis instructor, and everything is spelled out. You need to be a practitioner first, because before you can teach something, you need to understand what you're teaching. It's always important to know, even if you've been working with someone else, okay, you can't sell Mercedes if you're a Ford dealer, a Ford salesman. You need to understand the Mercedes. And so you can actually purchase both the instructor and practitioner course together, or you can do them separately. But all that is right online, explains it all for you. Okay, I'm a chiropractor in hypnosis for over 30 years. Thank you. Great. Okay. Talk about suggestions for sports. Okay, let's talk about suggestions for sports. What do you have in mind? Sports improvements. Oh, I didn't read the next line. I get it. Okay. Sports improvement. Actually, depending on the area you're in the country, for instance, down in Florida, there's a lot of golfing. You can use hypnosis for golf improvement, okay? Actually, hypnosis is used quite a bit in sports. Matter of fact, the majority of professional football, baseball teams, a lot of the professional sports actually have a hypnotist on contract, or one that even travels with the people to actually do sessions, whether they call it hypnosis or guided imagery, to do hypnosis with them, okay? Because keep in mind, in hypnosis, all of your senses are enhanced a minimum of 15%. Think about that, a minimum of 15%. So what can you do with hypnosis? Can you do things going to make you stronger so you can lift more? Can you run faster? Yes, you can do all that, but keep in mind, you don't want to do something that could hurt the person, because if the person hypnotizes himself to lift more and is bodybuilder, he might hurt his muscles, okay? Hypnosis comes in many different forms, okay? For instance, in the military, I was a drill sergeant in the military. I was in there for 11 years. As a drill sergeant, when you're training these troops to be superhuman soldiers, pretty much, what we're using is a conditioning. Some people might call it propaganda, brainwashing, but it's basically hypnosis. It's suggestibility. That's how these soldiers can withstand the cold and the heat, and they have super hearing. You can accelerate their hearing and their sight. And it's the same thing with hypnosis. For golfing, for instance, I had a gentleman when we were in Philadelphia. He was actually a number 2 ranked golfer and wanted to be number 1. He did really good in practice, but what happened was, when he was a fairly newer golfer, he hadn't been doing it for a long time. When he got in the competition and he went to address the ball, let's say for a putt or whatever, he noticed all the greats around him, all the really big hitters in golf, and he panicked. So basically what we were able to do with him was, and what hypnosis will help with sports, is to focus. We helped him to focus on what he was doing and eliminate the stress. What I did with him specifically, I asked him, what in your life makes you very happy? What brings you a lot of joy? And he said, my daughter. He says, my daughter's a singer. He said, I love to hear her sing or perform. I said, okay. I said, when you address the ball, when you're in competition, look at the ball, think of nothing else but your daughter singing, and take the shot. What did that do? It made him happy, it eliminated his stress, and he was able to take the shot, and he actually progressed quite a bit. I've done the same thing myself with skeet shooters. I had a guy who was a number 2 skeet shooter in Kentucky, and I helped him to be the number 1 skeet shooter in Kentucky, okay? And don't worry, for those of you who don't know, a skeet shooter, a skeet is a little like a clay pigeon. It's not an animal, so he's not going out killing skeets, okay? Now with him, he was really good already. He was fast, but it just helped him to focus on what he was doing a lot better. Raluca helped an Olympic rower in Philadelphia to do a lot better with his game with the rowing. He was a smaller guy, and he was competing against taller people that had larger strokes. And when he saw them alongside of him, he freaked out and he gave up. So she was able to hypnotize him. The script went something along the lines of focus on what you're doing, do your best, don't worry about anything else around you. Once you're doing your best, double it. You see what I mean? And he was able to do a lot more. Do you plan to in the future? Do I plan to do what in the future? I don't know. I must not have caught the beginning of this. Let's see. Well, I don't know what that one's about. I'll wait for it to come back on. So yeah, sports hypnosis is something, golf, again, you can help them to focus better on their golf. Pretty much any sport. Suggestion will help them to do better. Let's see. Discounts for the instructor program. Oh, it looks like this guy wrote this about 10 times. Occasionally we do have them. Right now the prices that we have are right online. So if you go take a look at that sometime, you'll see it. The discount we have is that the instructor course and the practitioner course are one price. So you're saving $250. Okay, let's see what time. How are we doing here? 7:42, 7:43. Okay, what we're going to do is, I told you we had a drawing, okay, so I want to go ahead and have a little contest with you. We're going to have some kind of fun right now. So before we start, what I would like you to do, Raluca gave me a piece of paper here. Raluca, where's that paper? Oh, here it is. Okay. Before we get started, I would like you all to copy this phone number if you would, okay, if you can see it. And I'm going to put it right up here. Okay, for out of country, there's a 001. You could use Skype if you want. And the local number is 207-590-5859. 207-590-5859. Don't call yet, okay? And what we're going to do is 207-590-5859, okay? And I'm going to ask a question, and the first person that calls with the proper answer is going to win the prize. But let's talk about what the prize is, okay? Now, for those of you who are hypnotherapists, you're going to like this. For those of you that aren't, that are interested in doing hypnosis maybe on your own, you're going to probably like this as well. It's a book. This is our 540 page hypnotherapy script manual. It's a book of 400 original scripts. It retails for $149.95 on our webpage. You can find it on either our online store, or we also have a free script page. You'll see that on our homepage where you can get free scripts. Not this one, but we have free scripts as well as all our other script manuals. So it's 400 original scripts created by instructors and graduates of the American School of Hypnosis. It includes everything you'll need, including our most successful 9-script smoking withdrawal program. For those of you that do smoking programs, this is the best smoking program I have ever used. And now, in addition to scripts, it also has many suggestibility tests, instant inductions, if you like instant rapid inductions, deepeners, analytical vehicles, clinical scripts, metaphysical scripts, and awakening. So there's a little bit of everything. This is something that we include in that package with new graduates. Of course, one of the things with the AIA benefits, we give them a lot of books, marketing books, plus the 400 script manual, but they get it in a PDF, a download. But you're actually going to get the hard copy book, so whoever wins, hang on to the phone, and I'll probably have Raluca speak to you, or I'll have you email me afterwards your mailing address so we can send this specific one book to you right over here. Okay, Let's see, the question is, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put you on the phone so everybody can hear you when you talk to me, okay? The question is, a little while ago, earlier, let me give you the number one more time, 207-590-5859, and I believe out of country you dial is 001, whatever you would dial for the United States. 207-590-5859. Oh, we're looking for it up there. Very good. Now, here we go. A little while ago I spoke to you about sleep hypnosis. I said when you're awake, you're over here. When you're asleep, you're over here. And right down the center, they call that the what state. What state of mind is that? There's a certain word that's about that long. So the first one to call in with that, at that number, is going to win. And I'm waiting. Oops, okay, we got somebody. Let's see. And let's see, I'll put you on speaker. Who do we got here?
Yeah, John White.
John White. Okay, where are you from, John?
Salem, Massachusetts.
Salem, Massachusetts. Okay. Your name sounds familiar. You're one of our graduates, so you should know this answer. So what is that state? What is it? If you don't get it, by the way, you're going to have to retake the course.
It's the Alpha Theta Bridge.
That's not the word I used, though. In the class, when I explained it, there was a certain word I used. The word I used, no, you missed it. I'm sorry. So we'll have to go to the next one. It's called something, and it was one word this long, not Alpha Theta Bridge. That's 3 words. So I'm gonna say bye to you right now, okay? Okay, who do we got here now? Hello? Oops, I lost them. Okay, so someone else called. Remember, it was a long word about this long. Right in the middle between sleep and wakefulness. What's it called? Someone going to call here? Hello? Okay, waiting for the next caller. It starts with an H. There's another hint. Hello, who do we got here? Hello? Hi, Dale. I don't think I can hear you. Okay, this is Dale. Where you from, Dale? Dale hung up. Hello? Hi, who do we got here?
This is Sandy.
Who is it again?
Sandy.
Okay, and what's the word we're looking for?
Is it hypnogogia?
The hypnagogic state. We have a winner. Let's all say yay. I want to see a bunch of yays. The hypnagogic state. Great, great. Okay, now I'm going to have you hold on the line. Well, Luca's going to run out here, and I'm going to have her get your mailing address and email address. Should we mess up with your mailing address? And Reluca, what's that?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Reluca, you want to come over and get this? And we'll put this right over here. Okay, so she's going to go ahead and get that book. We're going to send that. And before we go, I want to let you know that we are going to be doing classes like this, or free trainings every week, every Tuesday night. If you have questions that you want to be answered, if you have things you'd like to hear us talk about, subjects, go ahead and email them to me during the week so I can have time to plan it. It'd be neat to have regular subjects that I could post ahead of time so I know what kind of things you want to hear. I mean, I don't want to just sit here and do a hypnosis training course, because that's what hypnosis training courses are for. But we could talk about different subjects that could help you with your lives, maybe with your clients, with your families, whatever. Also, when you get a chance, go onto our webpage, okay? And on our webpage, click on the free hypnosis page, free script page. You'll see that at the top. On the free script page, I have a whole calendar of events that we put up just a few days ago. The dates for this are going to be on there, but we also have a lot of different things, such as we're going to be doing group past life regression sessions right here on live streaming, as well as on the UVU individual ones. We're going to be doing group past life regression, group contacting spirits, different kinds of law of attraction training and discussions. We have a lot of things going on coming up pretty soon So go on that page and you can see a listing of everything. And like we said at the beginning, for those of you that can't make it, we are going to have this recorded. It will be here on the site as well as on YouTube. So if you haven't signed up for our YouTube site, go ahead and do that. If you don't have the YouTube site and you want it, go ahead and email us to us and we'll send you the link. I think the link was on the letter that I sent you all tonight as well. Another thing that we want to do to get people to come here rather than to just watch us on YouTube is we're going to start doing something free like we did this drawing. Giving away books, programs, maybe MP3 CDs. We're going to do something different every single week. So that way if you say, well, I'm just going to watch the video, you're not going to win anything either. So with that, I want to thank you all for coming. And let's see if I missed anything. Let's see, page 2 was all my... No, I think I pretty much told you all I had to say. So I want to thank you for coming. And if you do come onto our YouTube site to sign up, leave a note, say hey. Let us know how you like the streaming and what kind of things you'd like to see. Have a great night. Thank you very much.